He played. Oh, hello, Jack. Let's get Benny in the blue trunk next game. Never doing stream? Should do it. Alright, let me just check what map 2 is going to be. Going to be Steps of War here. Alright, going to be Steps of War here for the second map. Just give me half a second to set up, guys. Alright, then he needs to do this then. Get it properly right around. Alright guys, we're about to go into game 2, Steps of War here. Steps of War is an interesting map. Then in the blue. Alright, Steps of War is quite interesting. You've got a really large main base, but one of the things is you have a destructible entrance to your natural from your third base, which creates for some interesting strategies. Just waiting for the players to ready up here. Shadow's ready, Benny's ready. Alright, we're gonna go into it, guys. Let's go! So, in the top right hand corner, having just lost game 1 but looking to take game 2, thrash his opponent and move on to the round of 8. It is Shadow, newcomer to this tournament but looking to prove himself, going house first radar. And then in the opposite corner we have Venny. Venny was in our previous tournament, did really well. Didn't manage to attend all his matches, which was unfortunate for him, sort of he suffered from that. But this time we want to see a really strong show from him. He's looking to be one of our top contenders, easily round of 4. Looking like he's going to go for 6 expand build by the lack of house and lack of tech so far. So, this map is actually really good for 6 expanding. Yes, I can. Yeah, this map is really good for 6 expanding because of the sort of pair of chokes that you get. One here at your main, slightly larger one at your natural. And there we go, there's Vinny 6 expand, about to go down about the minute mark, which is slightly late by most people's timings. Most people like to have sort of between a 40 and 50 second 6 expand, but that's fair enough. There's no worries with that, it's only a few gold difference. And Shadow went very early house, but he's not thrown down a barrack, so we're going to see what he's planning off the back of this. Does actually throw down a... I must be looking at the wrong gold. So Shadow actually throws down a barracks at the front of his base, looking to get a wall off. Now the interesting thing, by the fact that it's over towards the front here, not at his natural, is that's indicative of wanting to actually take and expand shortly afterwards. Because this is obviously more defensible, it's a smaller choke, and you can reinforce faster. Whereas here, it's a lot easier to claim this choke, and then actually take a quick expand off the back of this. Then 6 expand about to finish up. Now an interesting thing, neither player is scouted here, which personally I think is a mistake, knowing how common cheeses are in map 2s of best of 3s, as we've seen several times in the previous tournament. If you haven't seen those, do check out the VODs, it's worth watching. So potentially risky play here. Normally people would just grab a fort off the back of this to keep it safe. So you can see from the way this is off to the side, this creates a big chunk of area that people can just slip past. So Shadow actually making some mistakes, if you can see in the production tab. I don't know if he's saving up for an expand at 9 supply, but he's not producing any units, not producing any there we go, there's the expansion off the back of him. Now interesting to note, this is a more defensive expansion because you can start to get a wall off here and wall off here, but you can see it's a much longer path than if it was just to here. So it actually costs more workers to expand from this. Then he's going to get in, then he's going to see everything, so he's going to know what's up. And probably slightly confused if he went one rack to expand with no unit pressure. He does throw down a tower though, to actually keep himself safe. Interesting to note what Benny's doing here is creating a choke here and a choke here, which does actually help defend this easier. But obviously with the tower this far out, you are going to risk it having been surrounded by soldiers. Shadow's just trying to pump out his expansion to catch up with Benny here, because obviously he's oversaturated at this stage. He is 3 workers behind compared to this opening by Benny. Although he does start a soldier and a rifleman at this barrack, so he is going to be able to put on some aggression, which is nice. Not looking to poke in just yet. I assume he's predicted that this tower system. There we go, you can see workshop up from Benny here, so it's gonna be rifleman catapult again. Benny loves this style, big advocate of it. Actually when he first joined a couple of months ago, professing it was basically one of the best styles. He's worked really well with it. Obviously Little Wargame has quite a variety of styles that are quite effective, quite popular, but Benny's sticking true to his form. We've not really seen anyone yet take advantage of that. I know people have developed counter builds, but no one's taking advantage of the fact that Benny does this pretty much every game, guys. We're seeing going to be 2 riflemen, 2 soldiers out here from Shadow, which is interesting. And this is a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger map, so you've got a lot more room to get soldiers working, get soldiers doing damage. And Rifleman's one of those scenarios where you have to really be ahead. Focus fire is such a massive deal, and they've got so little health, it can snowball very quickly. So Shadow possibly not on the top of his game here, unless he's saving up for something, because he's not got full worker production at the moment. Then his workshop nearly completing. There we go. There's a house down from Benny, keeping his supply unlocked. But with this set of chokes here, it's going to be really quite difficult to assault Benny. He's going to be able to get a nice surround tower though. But obviously with these workers over here, it's going to be quite possible to pull workers and defend that. So we can see actually workshop also going down here from Shadow, possibly trying to go for the similar style. Go for this rifleman catapult build and try and beat Venny in his own game. These two rifle unit lead here from Shadow. He is 5 workers behind, which is going to put him behind in gold. But not for long. Their incomes will plateau unless someone takes a third. So you can see it's about 400 gold difference here at the moment. Now it's going to shuffle up to probably about 500-600 between them. But that's not going to be a massive difference. Well, it's obviously a fair amount of gold, but in the long run, it's not going to cripple Shadow too much. Oh, I do apologize, I missed that. Shadow's in here trying to get some damage done, does lose a soldier, and really doesn't manage to get much done. The soldier and catapults are the key sort of damage dealers we really need here to sort of break holds like this. And Venny, oh, actually, mistake here from Venny. He's got more workers than he needs, and not enough workers on his main, so that's going to cut his income down. You can see triple racks coming in the back here from Venny, getting his sort of units to take a long time to build, which are his catapults, getting those up first, and then going to go into this 2 base timing again. Be interesting to see if it goes for 3 catapults, or maybe more this time. We see second barracks coming down, and workshop here for Shadow, but he's behind in nearly every respect. He went for this barracks first opening, didn't get much done with it, then he defended basically for free, and that put Shadow a fair ways behind. We'll see a catapult coming out here quickly from Shadow though, so he's going to try and compete on even ground. And then he is starting to crank out that rifleman production that we know and love from Venny here. Triple rifleman, catapults being done. He's going to have a third one by the time these riflemen come out. And this is going to be a really strong push here from Venny. For any of you who play the game and don't know what to do, Venny is a great player to emulate. Really strong timing attacks, very well played, and you can see just simple things in his base is creating chokes, giving his tower plenty of time to fire. These things are the sort of things you want to pick up, want to start imitating players like Venny to get to grips with the game. It's a good place to start. Venny looking probably to move out with 6 riflemen and 2 catapults again. It's a very similar. He is going to go up against quite a lot of soldiers. You can see Shadow's got these riflemen off on the side. He's going to try and possibly catch some units out of position here. He's going to be very behind on catapults though, which is a big deal. Okay, catapults deal 40 damage a hit. That's massive. Okay. That is 2 shots to kill a rifleman, and just over 3 shots to kill a soldier. So fire slowly, but you really don't want to get hit by these catapult shots. Shadow actually skipping a bit of worker production here, which is a mistake. He isn't saturated yet in his main bases. But as you can see, Venny also has some issues here. He's not saturated his main either. Now you can see Venny's going to move out here. He's got 7 riflemen, 3 catapults. This is going to be a really big push. This is going to be really quite difficult to hold with such a small army. 5 soldiers. If they can get on top, it's going to make a big difference. But it's going to be an interesting one. Venny moving off to the side here. I don't know if he's spotted these units on the side. If he has, these units are just going to straight up die. Shadow's not microing them. Catapult shots land on the ground beside the soldiers, but do eventually clean him up. And Venny looking to move off to the side and deny this 3rd base. Rifleman taking hits, not being micro properly against his catapults, and he's really got to against catapults. Catapults are so brutal. Massive amount of rifleman production coming in from the back here. Another rifleman drops the Shadow. Soldiers are on top of the catapults, and they do a lot of damage. One of the highest damage second in the game. I think they've got about 7. But you can see Venny's just got this army split into pieces. Catapult's doing such big damage here, it's really brutal. Oh, that's going to be 3 hits straight away. This catapult is going to go down. Shadow's going to be in so much trouble here. He does manage to move around the side. And he's getting right on top of this catapult, which is going to help. But His units are getting sandwiched here. In come the catapult shots, raining down on his units.